What's up, my chatterboxes? If you guys haven't done so already, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to share my videos. It will help me out tremendously. So I really, really appreciate that. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. I hope you guys are enjoying the content so far. So without further ado, this is my review for Love at the Lockup Season 3, Episode 8, Love Don't Cost a Ring. So I'm not going to be doing too much talking because I'm trying to condense this video only because it's a 2-hour show because it's the mid-season finale. So we just going to get right into it. So it starts off when Lindsay, she finally is getting out of jail. So she called Scott. She was trying to get in touch with Scott. He said when he finally got to his phone, he said that he had like 12 missed calls. So she called him to give him the news that she's coming straight to the house because of COVID. She don't have to go to the halfway house. Now he's saying, oh, well, it's a lot of changes and a lot of things going on. This is what he's telling the confessional people. He said, and he don't have the house, ready for. And I'm like, okay. I mean, because episode 1, we was seeing him talking to an interior decorator, talk about between $1 and $1 million. That was the budget. Now you saying you don't have shit done. You don't have nothing done. So anyway, Lindsay, she was so excited about getting out. She said that we learned that she said that she only been arrested that one time, but during the arrest, she had all these grams of drugs, and she had a gun, and she took the cops on a high-speed chase. So that kind of like sent her up the river with no priors. Because she said she even made a joke, because she said she was like 22 before she got in trouble. She said she even made a joke like when she posted on 22nd birthday. She said, oh, I made it to 22 with no felonies. And then all shit hit the fan. All shit hit the fan. So she was expressing how she liked Scott, and she was like, what Scott doesn't know is prior to her going to jail, she had a couple older boyfriends and they were rich because they financed her lifestyle. They, was willing to pay. So basically she was using Scott as that sugar daddy, but she said that she likes him. She said so she hoped they had the same chemistry that they once had, that they had over the phone. She hoped they can have that in person. So, I mean, only time I'm going to tell that because we don't know. I mean, I don't see how she could be all up on him with that lip. I'm sorry. That lip, it grosses me out. I'm sorry. Anyway, so she talked to her daughter. She let her daughter know that she don't have to go to the halfway house, and she was so excited. So she wanted to know when her daughter will be able to come straight, to the house or whatever. But her mom was saying it all depends on when school start, because if school starts soon, she would have to wait it out with that quarantine, because she says, quarantine because Lindsay's been around a lot of different people, because we now dealing with COVID, and COVID, they're talking about COVID on the show. So Lindsay was a little upset. She was like, she understand like the restrictions and everything like that, but she really misses her daughter. But you don't want to put your daughter in harm's way. You haven't seen her this long. 14 days ain't gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna hurt. So she went into the store, and like the gift shops at the airport, bought her little outfit. She was like, my money is limited. I gotta wait until I meet up with Scott before he, give me what I need. So he sent her like I guess he put like some money on, like he paid for like the Wi-Fi on her phone so she could be able to have it on the internet. I mean, play, her music and stuff while she's on the plane. And I guess he sent her a couple dollars or something. And she said that he was like, well, I used this card. He sent her the card information. So he was like, don't run it up too much because I used this card a lot today. Something telling me something telling me, my gut instinct is telling me, because if you guys remember when Scott was trying to meet up with her before, he had the limo and one of the cars declined. You remember? And then now her saying what he just said to her about don't spend it up too much because he already used the card a lot that day. Something telling me Scott is not who he say he is or have what he say he has, and they both might be scamming each other. I'm just saying, they both might be scamming each other. So now we got Miss Destiny and Sean, okay? Because she was pissed off last week when the card declined. So she confronting them. So she was like, what happened? And he said, well, I don't know. I'll figure it out. And she was like, it was $3,000. Like, you don't know what's going on. You act like you don't care. He was like, well, I'll figure it out. So she said, well, I thought you said you called the bank, because he was saying he'll call tomorrow, because he said because the bank was closed. And she was like, well, I thought you said that you called. He was like, no, because my phone was busted. She was like, well, you got your work phone because you've been texting me. You texted me on it all day, blowing me up just fine. Then he was saying how, she was like, he said how he didn't know the number at first. And she was like, you could have Googled it. So he was giving her all these excuses and stuff like that. So she was like, listen, I need you to be upfront with me. I need you to stop with all the goddamn on lies. She was like, so he said to her, he was like, yeah, I want to too. He was like, because I really, really love you. I'm saying to myself, I don't want to offend nobody, so I really be choosing my words real lightly when I'm talking about Sean. But Sean elevator ain't going straight to the top of his goddamn to the top floor. It's just not. The elevator is not going to the top floor. I'm sorry. Anyway, so she was like, I don't want you to hold anything from me. He was like, well, when we first, start talking, we both were talking to other people. So she looking like, we were both talking to other people. He was like, yeah, I told you that. She said, no, you did not tell me that. He was like, yes, I did. She was like, no, you did not. So then now he's scared to tell Destiny that it's Kelly who he was talking to, because he said he knows that that's going to cause problems. Sean, where you are now with her, I think you need to just come out and say it with, say what you need to say and just come out with it, because she already said she ain't stupid and she going to figure it out. And when she figure it out, it's going to be issues. So you might as well just tell her the truth. She just told you that. So he's saying how he consider Kelly his ex-wife since they was together for so long, and Destiny don't know that they tried to rekindle their relationship a year ago. But my thing is, Sean, you don't really owe Destiny anything. You could tell her whatever you need to tell her. You was supplying her lifestyle. You was taking care of her. I don't think she would have turned you down if you was talking to Destiny. Now the problem becomes because you was talking to Kelly, now the problem becomes you're still lying. You're still lying. And then you cannot afford to take care of her. You just said it. You said she's so used to you giving her everything she wanted when she was in prison. Now that she's out, she expects that and more. And you can't afford it. You need to let her know, I can't afford this. But you scared to let her know that because you scared she gonna run for the hills. This is the problem with these people on this show. Y'all trying to hide what y'all have or what y'all don't have just so y'all can keep the person, because y'all know that the person is only with y'all because of for what y'all have, which is like, you really don't mind being used. That's the only reason why they sticking around. Like, I don't care. I hope I don't ever get to the point where I'm so desperate where I know I'm in a situation where somebody flat out using me and I'm allowing it just go, I want to be with a man. That's bullshit. So now we see John, he's picking up Christiana from when she was meeting with her mother. So they end up getting a bite to eat. So the stipulations were her, halfway house is she has to, in order for her to come out, she has to be on a job search. So they're finding little moments in between the job search where they can just steal from themselves and they, can be with one another. So Christiana and John end up going to a halfway house. I mean, not a halfway house, I'm sorry. They would end up going to a restaurant. Shoot, they sat there and they was about to order. She did ask, to her defense, she did ask the lady for a job application because John said, well, you might as well fill out one while we're sitting here. So they must have been getting followed because she said that she felt that she was getting followed. they must have gotten followed. Next thing you know, they wasn't even there a good 5 minutes before someone from the halfway house was like, come on, you gotta go with us. So she was asking, so as they was walking, you can hear like the audio, or am I gonna get it right up? They said that so they're saying that she is going to be confined to the halfway house. What I guess she won't be able to, come outside or whatever. John don't know what the hell is going on. Shit about to hit the goddamn fan. He panicking. And I'm like, I mean, I know she's supposed to do job search and everything like that. She's not allowed to drive in the car with him. Okay? She's not allowed to go get a bite to eat in between her job search, or y'all just strictly want her out there doing job search. She can't piss, she can't eat, she can't do anything. She can't get a bite. Like, what can she do? Like, I don't understand it. Like, she can't get nothing to eat. It's weird. Like, they can't put these unrealistic restrictions on these people, because it will make it where they fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. Moving on from that situation, now we see Chevelle and Quayline. So Chevelle's through Quayline a welcome home party. Both of their families are there. Now, y'all know from last episode, she bought him a truck. Now, Chevelle, you could have washed that truck before you slapped that bow on there. Because I caught when he opened that car door how dirty those mirrors and windows and stuff was. I'm just saying, presentation means a lot. I mean, bad enough that you bought him a car. You could at least washed it. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. So, she asked everybody to come outside because she had a surprise for Quaylen. So, Quaylen was like, that's for me? When you do that? Really? Oh, man. So in his confessional, he was like, she went and got me a car. I don't even have a driver's license. I'm like, damn, Chevelle, I understand you saying, because she said she don't really care what nobody got to say. That's her man, and she want to put him on the right path. She want to set him up, right. Chevelle, okay, you should have made sure he got his driver's license before you got the car. That would be the correct order to set him up right. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to put a car in front of a person that has restrictions. Well, I don't think he really has restrictions on his release, but you don't want to put him in a situation where he's getting in trouble again, and breaking the law because he doesn't have a driver's license, and you got this car sitting right there. Is tempting to a person. Like, what the hell are you thinking, Chevelle? What the hell are you thinking? So, I don't know. Cause I think it was his mom was like, when they came outside, I think it was Quayla's mom, when it was like, what's that, velvet? I'm like, they got that go mess. So, J-Rock, Chevelle cousin, he still ain't feeling it. He was like, this dude Quaylen got everybody food, but I ain't buying it. He might be able to say talk all that talk to Chevelle, but I ain't buying it. It ain't for you to buy D-Rock, but I appreciate how you got your cousin back. I appreciate how you got your eye on the situation, but at the end of the day, she a grown woman, because she keep on saying he a grown ass man, I'm a grown ass woman. That's what Chevelle keep on saying. It ain't shit you gonna be able to do. You ain't gonna be able to win that fight, D-Rock. That's all you just making sure you need to be there and make sure he ain't harming her in any kind of way. You ain't gonna be able to win that fight with pulling her from him. It just ain't gonna work. So we see Sean and Hector. They're driving to the jewelry store, hence the name of the episode, Love Don't Cost a Ring. So Sean is going to buy Miss Destiny, I guess it's an engagement ring. So Hector is not here for the bullshit. And everybody need a friend like Hector, because Hector don't hold no punches. He tell it how it is, and he got his friend back. Now, it's up to Sean if he want to take Hector's advice, but he throwing it out there. You know what I'm saying? So, he was telling Hector how, Destiny to love his life, and, that's who he want to be with. And Hector was saying, well, Kelly gave you the kids. You didn't ever think about, giving her a ring. Sean was like, no. Hector told him that he think he's doing a big, he's making a big mistake. He was like, she hasn't even proven herself to you, and you doing all this stuff. You giving her all this money. So Hector had asked her, well, how much have you given her so far? And he was like, upwards of like over 50,000, including the ring. He was like, what? So Hector told the producers, like, I didn't even know he had that kind of money, let alone giving it to her. He was like, I think she's using you. I think you're going to end up getting hurt. Why are you willing to throw, everything away just for her? Because Sean was telling Hector how Kelly is pissed. And she said, as long as the whore, in quotations, is around, that she's not allowing the kids to come. So Hector saying, well, you really willing to risk all that for her? And Sean saying he don't think it's going to get to that. But Hector had a good point. He was like, I think she's using you. But he said it like that. I think she's using you. I think you're stupid. He told him, I think you're stupid. And I just hope you don't get hurt at the end of this. And then it was so funny because I don't know if y'all peeped the sales girl when they were talking and Hector was asking him, how much did he spend on her and all this other stuff. And he said upwards of, how much he said. The girl was looking like, the fuck is going on? Especially when he was like, cause and including the bells buying, cause that was a 50 grand. The girl was looking like, what the heck is going on? I was cracking up. I don't know if y'all caught the expression on her face. And Hector was like, it ain't like you found this girl up in church, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? You need to slow up on spending the money. But Sean don't care. Sean don't want to hear nothing. Sean is in love. Like he said, when he seen the ring, because it was a nice ring. It was cute. It was he paid $2,000 for it. It was rose gold and an oval shaped diamond with diamonds going down the side. It wasn't a bad looking ring. And he was like, a beautiful ring for the most beautiful girl in the world. And I'm looking like, who that? What they do? Who that? Because it ain't Destiny. Destiny ain't the damn beautiful girl in the world. But I guess, you know what? Compared to what you used to get, and I guess she is a dime compared to, what you used to getting. So, you take what you can get these days, I guess. Woo, child. We got Maurice and Jessica. Okay. So, y'all know they went to go meet up with the parents. So, we see this unfold this episode. Have you ever got secondhand embarrassment? Because this whole scene gave me secondhand embarrassment, okay? So Maurice is such a immature, like, I forgot exactly how old Maurice is, but he seemed like he hasn't grown since he stepped foot in that jail cell. He's still back to that young kid that got locked up. So, they're in the house. The parents trying to be pleasant, but that shit not working. It ain't working. The mom keep rolling her eyes. She keep because they asked him. They asked them how was what have they been doing? How was they night or whatever. Maurice gonna sit up there and say, well, when we stayed there at my cousin's house, first thing I seen was a roach. I'm like, oh my goodness. He was like, it's nice in here. They got roaches running around there. Then Jessica was like, yeah, when you walk, that's all you see is pew, pew, pew. I'm like, oh my God. Like, y'all really gonna start with that? Y'all really gonna start with that? Your mom and dad already don't like the situation. Then you telling her you was in a roach infested house. Y'all really gonna start with this shit? Like, come on. So, the dad asked him like, what was going on, what y'all doing? And he was, she was saying how Maurice, was playing Fortnite. That they was like, I don't know what that is. She was like, you never play video games? He was like, no. He was like, a video. He was like, that's all I did was ever work. So I was like, okay, here come the shade. He was like, I wish I had time to play video games. And Maurice ain't really have like a comeback for that or whatever. So he was just telling him how it was nice in there, and he liked it down there. He was like he trying to get his parole switched from L.A. to Nevada. All hell fucking broke loose. Maurice, you already know that you and Jessica already said that y'all wasn't gonna mention that you were, violating your parole. The first thing come out your goddamn mouth beside the roaches is talking about the parole, okay? Like, come on. Like, damn well you wasn't supposed to go there. You wasn't supposed to go there. And anyway, so the mom said, well, how long is that supposed to take? Because he was saying how he got to get it switched, the parole switch. So the mom was like, well, how long is that supposed to take? So he was like, it could take up to, I think he said 90 days. And she was like, so y'all not really supposed to be here. And then Jessica looking like a deer a deer in the headlights because she stuck on stupid. And the dad was like, if y'all doing something y'all not supposed to do, it stops now because we don't break the law. We follow the rules. And he was like, let's me and you go outside. So Maurice was like, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maurice is so immature. He seems like a little boy. He's not shy at all, but to me, he's socially awkward. He don't know what to say out his mouth. Before you introduced him to your parents, you should have, I would have, it took a lot of grooming. He would have taken a lot of grooming before you just took him to your parents' house because he don't have no goddamn filter, okay? He don't. So now we see Heather. She's finally about to pick up Dylan. So we learn a little bit more about, Miss Heather. Heather is batshit crazy. She is. But we learn why Heather is batshit crazy, okay? So anyway, she is so excited to be, picking up Dylan. She's getting her makeup on. She was just piling that makeup on. I'm looking like, what the? I don't know. She was hitting that damn makeup palette hard as hell. Anyway, so she told us that 3 months into them dating, he asked her to marry him. Now he was keep in mind he was already in jail at this particular point because everything happened so quick. And she said that so they just assumed that they were married. They lived as if they were married just because he asked and she said yes. No formal marriage ceremony or anything. They just married. I guess spiritually they're married. So she was saying how much she loved him and she can't wait to just live her life with him. She's we seen her in episode 1 when she brought that that revealing outfit. She was saying, but he told her that he didn't really feel comfortable with her wearing that to the prison. So she ended up buying her like a different dress to wear, everything. So we learned in this scene that she had troubles in her past when she was a young child, and she said that her last relationship she was being used, and it made her feel low, and how she was used to cut out make vision boards, and she would put like a groom and wife and beautiful homes and things like that, things that she wanted to manifest in her real life. And she said slowly but surely those things started manifesting. She said she was able to open up to Dylan. She was able to tell Dylan things that she never told anyone before. So apparently she got into some things with her parents, and her stepdad and her mom just sent her away to some kind of boarding school or some kind of juvenile place or whatever. And she was raped at the age of 14. And she said she never was able to tell anyone that, but she told Dylan that. She was like, she really, really loved him. She felt comfortable with him. She was able to open up with him. And now that she don't have that relationship with her family, he kind of encompassed that for her. So she seemed like she putting a lot of eggs in that basket. But she is hesitant as well, because she says that, he has a reputation. Dylan, that's all he wanted. When he was out in the streets, that's all he wanted to do was party. He screwed a lot of different girls he was with. So she hoped that he don't have those same playboy, ways that he once had. Now, that's a little risky. I understand that you wanted to give your love to someone and everything like that, but you dealing with somebody that has a real sketchy past. When he was out here, he was selling drugs. He was into the party scene. He was screwing a lot of different girls, and that is who you choose to give your heart to and put your stake into. I hope he don't hurt it, but I don't know. He's a handsome guy, so I don't know. I just say proceed with caution with him. That's all I'm saying. Proceed with caution. So we back with Chevelle and Quaylon, okay? So the mommies get into it. Quaylon's mother and Chevelle's mother. Quaylon's mother calls Chevelle's mother. I'm sorry, I had to yawn. I'm sorry. So Quaylon's mother called Chevelle's mother over to where she was, and she was like, "What you think about this?" She was like, "What?" She was like, "You don't think nothing's wrong with that?" You know, she's under the perception that Chevelle is trying to buy her son. Chevelle's mother is under the perception that Quaylon is trying to use her son. I mean, Quaylon is trying to use her daughter. So they both disagree on with that. Disagree on one another with that. So Chevelle's mother is on the defense saying, how can you think that she's trying to buy your son after meeting her? Do you think she's that kind of woman? She was like, yeah. She was like, because every time I turn around, she's the only one buying stuff. You don't think that's a bit too much? She buying all these things for him, a car and all these old different things. She was like, and I think I do. And she was like, well, I think, so Chevelle's mother said, well, my mommy radar is picking up, and I think he's trying to use my daughter. And she was like, Quaylon is not a user. That's not who he is. She was like, but my mommy radar is picking up, and I think she just trying to buy him so he can stay here with her. So I'm like, oh my God. So Chevelle's mom was like, listen, yeah, I think she could be doing other things with that money. She could be actually, buying a home, putting that money to her, my Elish is other things she can do with their mother, but she got their money, but she has a big heart. You know what I mean? So listen, the moms are at it. I'm glad that Chevelle's mom, decided to get up and remove herself from the situation before it got to a point where they were, yelling at one another. So she was like, I don't have nothing more to say. It's over with. I'm done. And she, walked away, and Quaylon mom, like, bye. Like, she is a piece of work. She is a strong personality. She do not fold. She do not bend. And I can respect people like that. But I'm like, this is not even the place for you to be doing this. You and their home, being a little bit disrespectful, in my opinion. I know that's your son and you love him, but the night wasn't called for that. What you brought that night didn't call for that. It was only good vibes. She was doing nice things for your son. Regardless of how you see it, you should have kept your damn mouth shut. So they end up, so Chevelle had called everybody to the table, and so they can cut their cake. I was trying to figure out what kind of cake was that. Like, I don't know what kind of cake that was. Anyway, D-Rock, his wheels just suspended. You could tell he getting amped up. He pissed off. So he follows Quaylon outside because they started talking. And he basically told him flat out, like, I don't really know if this gonna work. He was like, I'm trying to figure out who you are. He was like, you gonna either be the person that come in and build with her, or you gonna be the one that come and destroy. And I think you that second person, the one that's gonna come and destroy. He was like, well, do Chevelle think that, or do you think that? Dude was like, I think that. He was like, oh, that's how you feel? That's how you feel? I'm like, D-Rock, I understand it, because like he said, he was like, I know my cousin, I know her heart, and people do try to take advantage of that. I get that. And I respect that you care for your cousin. I respect that you letting Quaylon know that you got your eye on him. I just don't want you to take it too far where as though is animosity and beef with you two over something that don't need be. Let him fuck up first. Let him fuck up first, or keep his eye on him. Keep your eye on him. But don't mess up something before, it can really be. Because I don't get that vibe from Quaylen that he's actually trying to, run game. I don't really get that vibe. But, shit happens. I have been fooled before. So, only time gonna tell that. So we see Tyrese and Shonda. Oh my God, they put a close up on his whole outfit. He had the blue shoes, the blue suit, and the suit was extra big. He just looked a hot ass mess, okay? Like a real pimp. And then you got this white girl, young white girl right there. They just was ill matched. I'm sorry. Anyway, so she was tearing them damn chicken wings up. She talking about anything is better than prison food. She was like, these chicken wings good as crap. So he basically was telling her how a lot of people, think the situation between them, like she too young for him. And she said in her confessional, like, she's only 28. His oldest is 28. And she was like, she could see how people can be weirded out by it or whatever like that. She don't seem interested in Tyrese at all. So when they go to the bus station and, he wanted to kiss her, and it was like gross. It was just hard to watch or whatever. And then he tried to put her head down. I don't know, was he putting her head? I want to assume that he wasn't being gross and like putting her, like trying to push her head down to what. But that's what it looked like to me. And then, she moved her head and they laughed it off. But don't play with me like that. Don't fucking play with me like that, okay? Anyway, so she was saying, I guess we could, this is good. I feel like, we'll get to know each other. I'm saying, oh, she letting you already know that this shit ain't what you think it is. You think that that's your woman. And from with the vibes that I'm getting, she ain't on that type time. She not on that type time. So she in there asking him for money. He was like, well, I don't want to pull it out in front of everybody. She was like, well, I need it. So he gave her, some money. The producers asked her how much it was. She said it was $200 because she don't have like no toiletries and things like that when she, personal stuff when she get to where she going. So he's at the counter trying to get some name tags for her luggage. She rushing him saying the bus is there. So he outside trying to embrace her, and she was like, well, I'm just trying to hurry up and get me a seat. Like, she was trying to, like, brush him off. First of all, I think she was weirded out by him having that blue-ass fucking suit on. You understand what I'm saying? And then, on the top of it, he older. She ain't feeling him. She really not feeling him. You know what I mean? And then he's saying how earlier he was saying how he was upset a little bit that they wasn't able to go to the hotel to have sex. He was like, but then it's not about that. I don't have to just, had sex with somebody. It's more about getting to know them and understanding their mind. But why would you be talking about sex if you wasn't worrying about it? You worrying about it. You just wasn't able to get it at that time. And truth be told, I don't know if you would have been getting it anyway because she don't seem like she was trying to have sex with you. That's all I'm saying. Now we got Heather again. She's picking up her boo, Dylan, and he finally gets out. Dylan looks good. He looks good. He really, really does. He said he's been locked up numerous times. This last time he sold to an undercover cop, which led him to go straight up the river, and he was up there for about 5 years. He said he was set up this particular time. He said he loved her, whatever like that. He said, but he kind of a little nervous because he said that she started coming up there like early on in the relationship with all these different tattoos. I think she got his name in Arabic, she got his name in Chinese, she got his name in English. Like he was like, it's kind of like scary a little bit. And I was like obsessive. And I'm like, you kind of right. Like that shit ain't normal. It's like she latching onto him in a way that is not healthy. And I hope it don't consume him. And I hope she don't lose herself. That's all I'm saying. So they were, taking pictures out in front of there. She ran to him, as he was coming out, she ran up, to him and, kicked off her shoe. And I'm like, oh my God, her feet were so dirty in the bottom of them flip-flops. Like, it just grossed me out. Okay, but I'm going to give you a pass because you was walking on the dirty floor. But, like, why would you be walking on the dirty floor? Like, I mean, ground. Like, I just don't understand it. So, I don't know. It looked like they got some kind of strong sexual connection. That's what it seemed like. Cause they all kissing. He changing his clothes out there. She rubbing she spraying the perfume. I mean the cologne on him. She asking if she could suck his, just lick his chest. She licking his chest. I thought they was going to screw right there in the parking lot. It really looked like that's what they was going to do. But it didn't end up happening. But that's what it looked like they were going to do. So now we see Maurice. He's actually, he been trying to call Shonda since he left her, and she hasn't responded to his, calls or anything. So he was like, he kind of little like some part of him is feeling like maybe she's brushing him off, but then he was like he don't feel like they, he feel as though they had that connection. Yeah, okay. So his son comes over. His son is handsome too. So his son comes over and Maurice was telling him how he picked her up and everything, how everything, was lovely. And the son basically keep trying to reiterate him, like iterate to him, like I don't want her to use you. I'm not being used. You think I'm gonna let somebody use me? I'm not being used. He was like, I'm just trying to give you another way of looking at things. He said, he was like, I'm not against you. He said, but people do seek out people that's established and everything for a come up. And he was like, listen, only time gonna tell that, when she's in jail and we was writing and visiting on phones, all, everything sound good. Only time gonna tell if I'm even gonna want to be with her or if she even gonna want to be with me. But only time gonna tell that. So the son was like, well, I just love you and I don't want nobody taking advantage of you and I just want to give you a different way of looking at things. And I respect the son for, keep pressing his dad and stop getting on defense. People got to stop getting on defense. Because, when we're our feelings wrapped up into somebody, we don't want to hear the other side of that. We only see the roses and feel the fuzzy feeling that we feel inside. We don't want to hear that other stuff, but that other stuff sometimes you need to hear because that is the real reality of what could be going on. It's just fact. It's just real tea. Factual, real tea. Plain and simple. Anyway, I don't know. I just don't think Shauna into Tyrese. You guys can leave your opinions there on the comment about that. Me personally, I don't think that she's into him. And I'm sorry. I thought I was going to be able to try to make this video as short as I can. It's a 2-hour video. So y'all going to get a long video. I hope y'all stay with me. But this shit going to be long. So we see Scott and Lindsay. He picks her up from the plane. The airplane. The airport. She bitching from the time she got off the plane when she seen. First of all, let me reverse. So she was like, I can't wait to see Sky, give him a big old kiss, because she was saying how she really love him and all this old stuff. And then I'm looking, because Scott, driving to the airport to pick her up, and his lip just looks so inflamed, so nasty. I'm like, if she kiss him, I'm going to fucking barf, okay? I am going to barf. His lip looks horrible. And it was like extra red, extra swollen. Extra swollen. Like, it was just horrible looking. Like, what? You freaking kidding me? You freaking kidding me, Scott? Because I seen on social media where he said that he has an allergic reaction in certain foods that he eat. It makes the lip inflamed. So if you know these things, you should have abstained from eating anything until you got with her. Because that shit looked horrible. Anyway. So he was saying, when he was saying how, it was so short notice, he couldn't get the limo. He was like, but he think that she'll be okay even if he pick her up on a bicycle, because he picked her up in his supposed work truck. So when he gets to the airport, he finally sees her. She jump in his arms. She give him a kiss. And I'm like, okay, you better than me, honey, because ain't no goddamn way I would have been kissing that goddamn lip. Ain't no way, okay? So anyway, he started grabbing her bags and, walking her, they were walking to the garage where the car, the truck was parked at. And she was like, oh, I'm so happy. You carrying my bags. I was carrying them for way too long. And I'm like, that's what men do, Lindsay. Anyway. So when she seen the truck, she was like, you picking me up on in this? Like, she was so disgusted about the truck. She was like, this is something I go mud driving in. She was horrible. She was like, it looks like a drug dealer car, and not the good drug dealers, like the cheap drug dealers. I'm like, oh my God, Lindsay, just get your ass in the goddamn truck and go. Talking about he picked her up. She said, I wasn't expecting the limo because I know it was short time, but I wasn't expecting this, 2-cab truck like I'm some kind of construction worker. Lindsay, shut the fuck up, because it's better than where you was at. You was in the jail cell. I wouldn't have cared about being in that car. Get me where I need to go. That's all I'm worrying about. So, and she called Molly Grace while she was in the car with him. They were all talking. Nothing real major about that. She was keep saying how she couldn't wait to get home, get out those clothes, get situated, child, all shit hit the goddamn fan when she got to that daggone house. Now, like I told y'all remember in episode 1 when he met up with the goddamn interior decorator, and he was saying to her how his budget's from anywhere from 1 to 1 million. My thing is, if you really put that money into that house and you really gave her access to that house like that and gave her the money, that house would have been done. And Lindsay was saying how she gave him all the magazines, how she wanted him to fix the house up. She was excited to see what the house has become. That shit looked horrible. Y'all, the garage where Molly Grace was going to sit, it looked like the dogs just had their way with it. It was like a trash. It was just horrible, dirty. You got like the fixtures, hanging out. And then he shows her the closet talking about, oh, this is what you want. I got your closet done. That fool didn't even have the decency to fold her clothes. That shit was just shoved in there looking any kind of way. Like, the carpets was filthy. You got these damn dogs running around. I was feeling her. Now, I was a little taken back when she was talking shit about that damn car. But I was feeling her when she was talking about that damn house. Scott is a fucking pig. He's dirty. He's nasty. He's disgusting. He's a pig. And he was sitting up there talking about when he was picking her up, talking about he couldn't wait to have sex with Lindsay. Where you having sex with Lindsay at? Because I know you don't think you having sex with Lindsay in that dirty ass house. And she was saying, like, in jail, you ain't got no other choice but to be clean. She was like, I don't live in filth. You got her trying to live in this squalor. And then he mad at her, talking about, you ungrateful. No, I ain't ungrateful. They had it out. She was like, I won't even walk on the floor with this. It's dog hair in the bathroom. No, it's not dog hair in the bathroom. Yes, it is dog hair in the bathroom. She was like, I thought that he had this together. He said that he, would take care of things. I can't bring my daughter, here. It's nowhere for her to be. I can't live here. She was so upset. He tried to touch her. She was like, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Like, she started screaming. And he was like, oh, she's supposed to be this Southern belle, but she got another side to her. I'm taken back by it. No, Scott, because you full of shit. And like I said, she might have didn't have your best interest in heart, but you definitely was scamming her too. You appear to have more than what you had, and you lied, and now the girl is here, and you can't knock the ball out the park. You understand what I'm saying? The jig is up. The jig is up. And I would have been pissed too. And then the fact that she got to be confined there. Oh, I would be pissed off too. So we see Chevelle and Quaylon and D-Rock and all the family again. D-Rock still and Quaylon ass talking about, basically he don't feel as though that it's going to work. He was like, because when real life set in, all the fuss and all the arguing, the job, the money, that's when shit going to take a turn for the left. For the left. And I like the way Quaylon did it. He kept it cute. He was like, well, really it's no one's else business but me and Chevelle. And D-Rock was like, well, I don't see it working. And Quaylon was like, it's going to fuck you up when it do though. You know what I mean? And he kept it cool. He listened to what D-Rock. He ain't get all, aggressive with him. He ain't go to 10. He kept his composure. He kept it cool. And I like that about Quaylon. Like, he not always rah-rah. But see, he the one you probably would have to watch. You understand what I'm saying? He ain't no slouch. His ass was in jail. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, we see Chevelle and Quaylon's sister. They're talking. Quaylon's sister voice does not match the way she looks. She got like this. She looks hard and and no nonsense tough type chick, but her voice give me like little kid squeaky voice. Like it just don't match. It just doesn't match her. Anyway, they were talking, and Chevelle, she gets on my nerves. He's a grown man. Like she always kicked that. She was like, I'm not trying to take Quaylen away from you guys, but he is a grown man and this is where he want to be and all of those stuff. So the sister basically, I'm going to condense that conversation. The sisters basically said, listen, he is still the 12-year, he's still the child that went in jail. He's still that child. He hasn't grown since then. So the sister's looking at him like that little boy that went, I think he got locked up when he was 17. So she looking at him like a 17-year-old. And Chevelle is looking at him as the grown man. She only recently came in, it's like 2.5 years ago. Like she said, she's been there, she riding for him, this and other. And the sister was like, I don't have anything against you, but she let it be known, my concern is my brother. That's what she said. She was like, I'm not the type of person that disrespectful in your home, which you kind of did. She was like, but that right there, my brother, my baby brother, my only brother, she was like, I will kill for him, I will die for him. She was like, and if anything happens to him, I'm coming for you. And I'm like, woo. But I get it. I respect it. You was up front. You straight. Your mom raised y'all to be straight to a point. I kind of like that. Chevelle didn't like what she heard. She flagged her. She walked away. So I made that little conversation a little, short because I can't have this video too long. So Quaylen, he was saying how he had removed himself from the party completely and went into another room. He was saying there's a lot of things. He didn't realize coming home from prison, he would have this much anxiety. He was like, he got to answer people questions, it's just a lot. He said he's trying to please Chevelle. He's trying to not, disappoint her. He said, but at the end of the day, he got to, make sure he good. And he right. Like, you got to take care of your sanity. When you in jail, you do make, I'm assuming you make all these promises to different people, but you got to make sure you cool too. You have to make sure you straight too. And I hope he take that time for himself as well. And Chevelle, please allow him to have that time for himself. Don't be, because she's talking about how she want to get married. She don't care what nobody say. She marrying him and not his family. Like, she want to hurry up and get married so quick. Like, damn, can he breathe? Can he breathe first? Okay, like. Chevelle kind of getting on my goddamn nerves. And I hate her makeup. I hate her wig. I'm sorry, I do. The makeup is too light for her face. She should have got I think that was her sister. She should have got the person that did her sister makeup to do her makeup because the shit didn't look right. And that wig is horrible. Throw it away. Burn it. Do whatever you need to do. But the shit is horrible. So we see Sean and Destiny again. And Destiny done went shopping. Sean scrolling up. I guess he could see all like the charges. She spent a lot of money. And she's doing a lot of transfers, withdrawals for the casino. And she getting mad that he questioning on her because he was like, chillax. Like, you got to chillax on to spend it. I'm like, okay, chillax. Okay, how old are we? Anyway, so she was like, well, you said when I was in prison that you would do anything or you would give me anything that I need. Okay, he might have said he'll get you anything that you need, but you don't need to go to the casino, okay? You might need bras and panties, but you don't need to go to the casino. And you don't need Victoria's Secret bra and panties. You don't. You know what I mean? Like, you don't, okay? You might need to go to the dentist and get that overbite looked at. That's what you probably need to do. But, who am I to say? Who am I? Anyway, so she told us that I already kind of figured heroin was her drug of choice, but she confirmed it. She said heroin. She said she done everything under the sun except elephant tranquilizers. She said, but heroin is her drug of choice, and she said, well, he do not know that she got high 3 months ago in prison. Girl, listen, you could tell that you spiraling. You can kind of tell. He was telling her that it seemed like you trading one addiction for another. That's what made her tell us, about the heroin and everything like that. And she was like, well, why would you say that? Why would you bring that up? Because it's true. You are. It's like you are obsessive with spending his money. And then every time he asks you about it, oh, so what? You know he's a mechanic or whatever he is. You know he's not rich. Why do you think you could just spend all this goddamn money like he got it like that? You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, it's ridiculous. So she was telling him how she just wanted to chill today, so she wasn't gonna spend any of his money. She wanted him to blow up like the unicorn floaty, so you know she can get into the pool. So he blew that up for her. Well, as he was blowing it up for her, Kelly calls. So he's out on the balcony. She's in there cooking bacon, and she comes outside to listen to see who he's talking to. So she storms out and says, "Who are you talking to?" And he was like, "Kelly." She was like, "Why are you talking to her?" He was like, "Because I had to have a relationship with her. Give me a plane ticket to go home. I'm going home because I told he." She said, "I told him, you know, that I'm not gonna be tolerating him talking to her. This and that." First of all, he has children by her. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. He got a right to talk to his kid's mom. Who the freak is you to sit up there and say that he can't talk to her? Now, depending on what the conversation is about, you know, that could be tomato. But as far as him not having no contact with her, bullshit. I wish somebody would tell me I can't speak to my kid's father. I wish somebody would tell me that. We got a goddamn going problem. You ain't gonna tell me I can't speak to the father of my child. I don't care if that's your man or not. What? You tripping. You tripping. She out of line with that shit. And he gonna had to get her in check. She is too she too aggressive. She's too demanding. She too you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, she gotta be checked. She gotta be checked. So Christiana did get in touch with John, and she was letting him know that she is going to get a write-up. If they give you like a ticket, and she was like, that's how they keep you in there. They keep piling these tickets on you, make it impossible for you, you know, to get out. So John, he was, you know, worried about them taking him off like her, you know, list, but he is her husband. But I mean, they can do whatever they want. She's still technically a property of the state. So she was saying that somebody was following them, and I'm like, but damn, like, somebody must have like tipped them off or something, like, because I don't know why would they. I don't think they had the resources to go out and follow behind each one of their, inmates or whatever you call them when they're in the halfway house. I don't think they had those resources. I think somebody might have tipped them off. So she was saying that how, it's overwhelming for her. It seemed like she's spiraling. And like John said, she is an addict, gonna always be an addict, and he just hopes she don't relapse. So I'm praying that, Christiana can get through this without, going back to her old ways, with going drugs or like bolting from the halfway house. I hope she doesn't do that. Now we see Maurice. We back with Maurice and Jessica. They still at the house. The mom said that she don't really feel as though Maurice is kind of them. She said she feels as though he's genuine. She said he's a sweet. He seems to be, a genuine sweet person. And I'm happy that the mom said that, because the read that I was getting off her face, her expressions off her face was telling something totally different. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if her facial expressions is telling the real story, or what she's saying now her mouth is telling the real story. But I get it. Listen, if my daughter came home and told me I met this guy in prison that she didn't know from Adam, I met this guy in prison, he's from another state, he was in a gang, you know what I mean? I would be apprehensive about that too. I would be pissed off too. I wouldn't take that shit lightly. So I don't blame them for wanting to protect their daughter. I just almost got the vibe that it was a racial element to this, and I wasn't really feeling it. You know what I mean? Especially with the racial climate that we going on now, that's going on now in this world, in America and all of those stuff. I just wasn't feeling that. But I get it far as a mother standpoint and a father standpoint. Well, I'm not a father, but I can kind of see how a father would feel about that as well. So by all means, protect your baby girl, protect her. So Maurice and Jessica dad had their conversation, and I didn't really like the tone of the conversation. I didn't really like what the dad was saying. I mean, I respected it, but it kind of, even though he was saying how it don't have nothing to do with you being black, I believe I look at people for what they have inside. I don't care. It just gave me racist vibes. It really, really did. So, and then he said, um, I know you were around, a bunch of dangerous people, and I'm just here. I'm gonna tell you flat out, I'm not having it. They come this way. I'm gonna protect what I need to protect. This old rhetoric, it almost was Trump talk. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't feeling it. I mean, maybe you was just throwing it out there because you not from that life. You only know of what you heard. You probably look at TV and already have a stereotypical way of thinking when it comes to people in gangs and people of color. You know what I mean? So maybe you just took it from there, but it didn't come across that way to me, and I just wasn't really feeling it. I could respect you saying I'm gonna protect my daughter, don't let no harm come to my daughter, and I can respect that, but you took it somewhere else. Then he was saying I don't want nobody to know where I live, and I mean I agree with that. Don't tell those people where I live. I ain't trying to be no easy mark for nobody. I get that. He was like, I don't want nobody knowing where I live. He was like, but you know what? I never had a son. He was like, you seem like you genuine. He seemed like you really care. He was like, and I'm going to give you a chance. He was like, I wouldn't mind having, a son that we could go fishing with. You could do house projects around the house. And Maurice was saying, well, I feel like you somebody that I could come and talk to. I never had a father figure, and you could be there for me. My mom did the best she can do, best she could do, but the streets raised me. And he was like, I just want to do right by my wife. I just, I want that house. I want her, cooking for me. I just want, a normal life. And I'm saying, maybe Maurice is not the best person, best articulate person, but he does seem genuine. He does seem like he care about Jessica. I don't think that he's trying to screw her over, but Maurice, I don't know, the immaturity and probably lack of education. I don't know. He's just coming across stupid to me. I'm gonna say it. He coming across like stupid. So, they end up saying their goodbyes to the parents. I don't know. He like the dad said, you gotta get the before they said the goodbyes, the dad was like, you gotta get the parole straight. He was like, and until you do that, I think it's best for Jessica to stay here. Maurice wasn't really feeling that, but I get it. Like, listen, why should she have to suffer because she already did this jail time with you? Why should she have to suffer because you up in LA? No, let her stay here. Let her do what she need to do. He said, I got her while she's here. You do what you need to do. And then when all that's squared away, then you come here and y'all can live your life. And I kind of agree with that with the dad or whatever. Maurice really wasn't feeling that. He was like, I could get shot up there or whatever. Yeah, you could get shot up there. So don't put her in a situation where she might get shot as well. Because a bullet don't have no name, and they don't care who they shoot. And they shooting women, children, and men. So it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? So do what you need to do with parole, and so y'all can get on with y'all. So we're ending this episode with Sean and Destiny. Destiny's still pissed that she court him, and like she's saying, it's one thing if he's talking to his children, but it's another thing him talking to Kelly. But you do kind of gotta talk to Kelly if she's talking about the children. But she did overheard that Kelly asked about her or got mad or something like that. So she's pissed off. So I'm your woman, not her. You shouldn't be talking to her. And he's saying, I love you. And it was just a whole goddamn mess. I'm over it. Like, Destiny, you was just in the fucking store flirting with a girl, trying to take her on a date with his money. So, but you mad because he talking to her and they had kids together, talking about that's weird. Come on. You want to control him. You want to control and conquer, and it ain't happening. And Sean, he might be stuck on her and he might seem weak, but he loved those kids. And I think that's going to be that trigger. He's not going to allow her to push him away from his kids. So she better, if she really wanted to be with Sean, she better tread lightly, because I think that's going to be the trigger for him. Like, he seemed to be committed to his children. I can respect him for that. So Destiny got mad at him because he was like, he said he didn't really want to leave her, because he had to go to work while they were still fighting. He said, but because he don't know if she's gonna be there when he comes home or anything like that. But he had to go, so he goes to the car. He tell her he love her as he going to the car. She goes over to the car. She starts swinging on him, punching, and she does some of them punches connected, hitting him in his face and stuff like that. He pulling off the mic saying, I don't want to be, fuck this show, I don't want to be on this show. It was a whole goddamn on mess. She was talking about she done, and she just stormed over talking about she not gonna be treated like this. Well, stop treating him like he's a sucker too. Stop treating him like a sucker. You act like you this going beauty queen that he should be happy to have. Like, come on. Well, he treats you like you won, so I guess you are the best thing he had. I don't know. That's all I have for this episode of Love at the Lockup. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to follow me on